Welcome back, everybody. Continuing this discussion about the country's recent downgrades and other issues as well being discussed here in studio by ANC Economic Transformation Chairperson Enoch Godongwana. Again, thank you again. Thank you for staying on. You know, I'm reading an article and just to quote what this article was saying, achieving an investment grade status was one of the greatest successes of the ANC government after we took over a fully junk status in 1994. And here we are in 2017, back in that situation. How does it make you feel in your position? I mean, you're seeing everything when it comes to the economy of this country.
Yeah. We make the point there that, I mean, if you look at, for instance, in 1992, the economy was experiencing negative growth, and we took this economy to where it was and grew up in terms of grading. And now we're back to where we were before 1994. So our sense is that we still have the capability to change things around.
Yeah. What do we need to change things around? Because one of the issues, and I'm going to reiterate what we spoke about in the previous interview, one of the issues that from past experiences of other countries that have been downgraded is their speedy response, is how they deal with the situation. This response of ours has not been as rigorous as one would have hoped.
Look, there's a lot of work which is being done. Yesterday, we saw the social partners, both business, labor, and government, under the leadership of the Deputy President, beginning to think through what is it that we could have as a possible response jointly as South Africans.
Yeah, and you're convening a meeting. I know that that's one of your top agendas that you want to do. You've made a call to convene this economic roundtable with all key stakeholders in the country's economy to discuss lifting this downturn and also to achieve what you say is lifting investment levels to 30% of GDP. When is this going to happen? Who do you plan on being there?
Okay, let me check. I mean, one of the challenges we've had is that if you look at the quarterly bulletin of the Reserve Bank, you will see that we've had 4 consecutive quarters where investment has been contracting. It's beginning to pick up in the last quarter, and which is an impressive development. Part of that, we need to enhance that. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. In addition to that, I've mentioned the network exercise. I know the Minister of Finance is doing a lot of roadshows, is meeting some of the CEOs this afternoon. The ANC is doing a lot of work, is meeting a number of people as well, to try and mobilize South Africans in order to find a way where we can develop a script, a message together, and how to change the situation.
I want to talk nuclear for a little bit because this is hanging over South Africa is a potential nuclear deal that many people say is something that this country cannot afford, and particularly in the situation we find ourselves in now economically. Mm-hmm. What are your views on nuclear? Do you really believe that is what South Africa should do?
Let me just say, take you a step back. 2009, 2010. An intense debate, including consultation with everybody, including the NGOs, around what is called the generation mix in South Africa. What kind of technology are going to be used for for generation in South Africa? Among others was the inclusion of nuclear in what is called Integrated Resource Plan in 2010. And that said we should have about 9,600 megawatts. That was in 2010. There's a new program which is to review that. Now, people are still working in terms of the program, but conditions have changed. What are these conditions that have changed is that we've seen a development of gas in Mozambique and other areas, and the potential of gas in South Africa. That's one other issue. Thirdly, we said we will develop nuclear at a pace and scope in which the country can afford. So your test is affordability. Now, we then said, now that we're in a junk status, which is likely to have an impact on South Africa's revenues. So that clearly, in my view, needs a rethink.
So that's, I think, your official answer to that. The nuclear deal needs a rethink, the idea of a nuclear deal. Are you happy in the hands of our finance minister, Malusi Gigaba? Do you think he's up for this challenge?
Look, Malus as a person is very energetic, young, bright, no doubt about that. So the unfortunate thing is that he's taking over in a different environment and a lot of headwinds. And it's difficult to say how he's going to cope in that environment. He's just thrown in a difficult environment.
But in terms of getting the job done, that's what's most important. Is your confidence in him? In Treasury, you've got an institution. That's what people have been missing when we've been saying our battle has not been about Praveen or anything about that institution, institutional integrity and its strength. If you put anybody in Treasury and he uses that institution effectively, that person will succeed. So I would imagine that if Malusi keeps that structure, that institution in its present form, he's going to succeed. All right, let's leave it there. Thank you for talking to us here on the programme. Enoch Godongwana, the ANC's Economic Transformation Chairperson, thanks very much for your views and your time.
Thanks very much.
All right, let's take a break here on the programme. We'll bring you the news at 7 after this. Do stay tuned.